What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC, and today I'm going to give you my quick reaction review to Army of the Dead on Netflix by Zack Snyder. Now, I saw this movie while I was doing my stream and finished my stream, and I wanted to watch a flick. And I saw this come up, and it had Dave Bautista in it, and I like Dave Bautista. I mean, I watched him during his time in the WWE. I thought he was a good wrestler for a big guy. He was very agile, and I've liked the work that he's done in movies or whatnot so far, playing Drax the Destroyer in the MCU and Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot. Now, whereas I didn't think that the character of Drax, how it is in the MCU, was the best use of Dave Bautista. I mean, it worked. It was funny. Knowing anything about that character, you know he's not a funny character. He's meant to kill Thanos. But seeing Dave Bautista in other movies like Riddick and some other stuff, he plays a good role. He can do comedy. He can do serious, and he's always a heavy. But this role was kind of attracted me a little bit because he was fronting the movie. It was him. It was Dave Bautista in the movie, not just being behind anybody else, but actually there being a front man for the movie. And it was Zack Snyder as well, which I like Zack Snyder movies. I mean, I've seen all of Zack Snyder movies, and regardless of what people think, Zack Snyder is somebody who likes film, and he likes doing crazy things and mixing up genres. So in this one, you have a zombie movie. Now, I don't traditionally get into zombie movies, really. I really can take them or leave them. Really, it's not that interesting of a concept to me outside of the fact that you're just running around killing human beings. That's pretty much it, indiscriminately. But this one seemed to interest me a little bit more, and thank you to Netflix for actually putting up trailers of this stuff, where I got to see a little bit of the movie to decide if I wanted to see it, and it turned out that the zombies aren't stupid. They're not just mindless shambling, as they call them in this movie, creatures. Some of them are actually really smart, really fast, and intelligent. And that attracted me a little bit more in a more I Am Legend kind of way, that there is something more going on with some of these zombies. So I gave it a watch, and I tell you, for a Sunday movie, it was a good Sunday movie. It was. I mean, it wasn't an overly complicated story. There was action in it. There was some suspense. There was some family drama. There was some interconnection between the characters, and I got to see some cool stuff. And that's what I want out of a Sunday movie. For Sunday movie is just for popcorn, and I'm upset that I didn't have any popcorn for this one. But I'm going to show a little bit of it. It's 2 hours and 28 minutes, which is not so bad. And maybe on a replay, I won't get hit like YouTube likes to do, but we'll see. So you have this cast of characters with Dave Bautista and the like in the show. And by some twist of fate, let me take this off here for a second. By some twist of fate, the military is moving this cargo. You don't know what the cargo is. And it's near Nevada, heading out of what would be Area 51. And by chance of fate, this convoy gets ran into by some newlyweds coming from Vegas. And the cargo is dropped out onto the highway. And it's a giant safe. And when the safe cracks open, what comes out looks to be humanoid. And it attacks its escort guards and kills them really quickly. It seems like it's immune to bullets and everything else, and super fast and super strong. and it kills all of them. And because it kills all of them, the last two people it kills, you see that it kills them with a bite, and like vampires, they turn. They turn into what that thing was, whatever it was. It looks like a zombie, but it's not acting in a traditional zombie fashion. It's not just mindlessly going about what it's doing. It is selective and cunning. That's scary for a zombie. And so when seeing these last two people that it killed are turned and get up to stand up with it, you see that it's right outside Las Vegas. And it heads into Las Vegas during the entrance title scene. Now, in an interesting fashion through the titles, you see the introduction of each one of these characters that are going to make up the principal cast of this movie. You got Dave Bautista, Amari Hardwick, Theo Rossi, a lot of other characters that I just watched it, so I'm not remembering all their names off the bat. But a lot of other characters showing how they were soldiers at this time when they had to be brought into Las Vegas to try to stop the tide of whatever the hell was going on, because people just start turning into these zombies and attacking. It was like a damn bloodbath. And through the efforts of the government and some ingenuity, they ended up cordoning off Las Vegas downtown proper with shipping containers and trapping all those zombies within there. And on the outside became refugee zone. Now, it's not clear to me on one watching how much time has passed since, but you pick up with the characters after the intro credits roll and you see where they're at now. And you have Dave Bautista's character working in a restaurant as a cook. He's just cooking in a restaurant. And you get the introduction of Hiroyuki Sanada, Scorpion from the Mortal Kombat movie, and nameless other samurai movies, rolling in there and wanting to talk to him and offering him a job. The job is to go back into Las Vegas, into this one casino, and retrieve the $200 million that's in this safe before the government drops a nuke on Vegas altogether and destroys everything. And for that job, Dave Bautista will get $50 million to retrieve this $200 million out of the safe. Now, as you can see from this, Dave Bautista's character, Scott Ward, he's in a bit of a slump. There's some stuff that's going on. And by the introduction of each one of these characters later on, you see what they went through after this, what you can consider an epidemic or whatnot, actually happened. And he had a family, who he was, and all that's removed now. He's just what he is now. His daughter's gone, his wife is dead, and he's kind of on the fringes of who he once was. Hiroyuki Sanada's character tells him, you can assemble your team and meet here in a couple days, and we can do this deal. So Dave Bautista's character, Scott, sets about to retrieve his teammates for what this job is going to be. And some of the people he picks up first is his old teammates, which is the woman, I'm not remembering her name right now, and Amari Hardwick's character of Van. With them on board, they assemble safecrackers and some other people who have sprung up around this industry of being around these zombies that are trapped in Las Vegas. And they assemble their team and they get their mission, and they are sent in to break into this safe, get this money, and get out within one day before the nuke drops on the whole city. Now, not to give away the whole thing, because in this, Zack Snyder does something that Zack Snyder does. He mixes genres. You have a zombie movie mixed with military action, mixed with a heist movie, which makes it interesting, right? But from there, once you have Dave Bautista's team assembled and they're going into this area of Las Vegas, you end up finding out these zombies don't act like everybody else. Most of them do. They just shamble around and are mindless and they're easy to kill off with a dome shot. It's pretty easy. But some of them are not dumb. Some of them are really smart. Some of them still have their whole somewhat mental faculties. They are alphas among the other zombies. And they are zombies who were turned by that original zombie that you saw in the beginning. And that original zombie is not dumb either. He is way smart. And he is the king of this kingdom, which is Las Vegas now. And that there are rules that people have to play by if they want to actually walk into Vegas and leave. They can stay around the periphery, but they have to give an offering. You know what that offering is, right? It's usually somebody alive, some food. Now, once you get into this team being in Vegas and their dilemma of going about their job, you get to find out more about each one of these characters, their reasons for being there, and their reason for actually wanting this money. And the cast of characters is actually kind of fun. Each one of these characters was interesting in its own right. And it wasn't any, well, there was one trope character, which is a lieutenant for Hiroyuki Sanada's character. It's his lieutenant that's going along on the mission with him, but he has to go along. And obviously, you know, there's going to be some shady double dealing with him because he's there for some other reason that is unbeknownst to you as you're watching it, but you know you don't trust him. But what I got from watching this with all those characters, which is I got a fun zombie movie in a sense, where in the spirit of The Walking Dead, the zombies are the background to this. What's really interesting is what's happening with the characters and all this, not just the killing of the zombies. That's going to happen anyway. You know what you're getting when you walk into it. But the interaction with the characters and what they're trying to figure out with themselves and square with each other is the interesting part. I did get a few WTF moments while I was watching this. Some surprising moments, like, oh my God. But I also got some really cool action sequences with Dave Bautista and some of the other characters, which I wonder if I can find her. But one of the other characters named Chambers, who I really like. Now, this Latina actor, I do not know her name, but she was cool, and she was giving me this Chavez from Aliens vibe. I think that was what she was supposed to be kind of playing off of, right? And I'm not going to show you most of this movie because you have to watch it to see it, and I don't know how YouTube's going to act with me showing Netflix stuff, so I'm not going to play it. If I do a full review, then I'll do that, but this is just more so a reaction review to this material. And I just finished watching it, like literally 3 or 4 minutes ago. I just finished watching it. Where's Chambers? God dang it. Okay, obviously I'm having a hard time finding freaking Chambers. Okay. So I missed the part where Chambers is. Nevertheless, I like the character of Chamber. She really handled her business and she handled the action scene very well. And it was a Latina. You know how I feel about Latinas. And she could use a knife and a gun, and it was a good fight scene. Most of the other action sequences that are in here with Omari Hardwick and some of the other characters are actually kind of innovatively shot in a way, which I enjoyed. And some of the other fights and things that they were doing in it was entertaining. It was entertaining in a good bit. I saw some shades of other movies. Like there is a scene in here that's reminiscent of The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. And for when it happens in the movie, the character kind of deserved it. And there's some scenes of some really interesting stuff with the zombies where you figure out what the hell is really going on with these zombies. You really want to know more about what's going on with the zombies. You're compelled by their story more than anything, right? So it ended up being a really entertaining movie that I would probably watch again just so I can pay full attention to it and remember everybody's name in the cast. But if you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. It won't cost you but about, 2 hours of your time. It's Army of the Dead on Netflix by Zack Snyder. And I enjoyed it. It was a good Sunday, popcorn movie. But that's going to be it for me. I'm going to cut it short because I don't have all my thoughts together on watching this, but it was an entertaining movie. So you should check it out. I enjoyed it. So now I'm going to go on and see if I can catch some of this Pennsylvania, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.